Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another video. In this one, we're diving into a Thursday Night Football Showdown slate. We have the Washington Redskins, the best team in the absolute world, going to Minnesota and playing these Vikings. It's going to be a neck-and-neck game. I expect the final score to be an absolute defensive battle, 3-7, maybe even 3-2. It should be a really fun one. I can't wait to get into this one with y'all. If you have not already, please do leave a like on this video. I greatly appreciate the support. I did want to plug real quick one thing. I did run a poll on Twitter. I'm going to start uploading NBA content just a day or two a week. I can upload videos on Tuesdays sometimes. Depends on my schedule. And then I upload our first look at the week ahead on Wednesdays usually. I think I'm going to replace that video or double upload on Wednesdays with an NBA video for whatever the NBA slate on Wednesday night is. If y'all have any preference as to whether I do both, if you want me to do my first look still, it just seems to be kind of the least popular video I upload. So I was thinking about just replacing it with NBA. If you still want me to do that, I'm happy to do both. I have no issue doing that on Wednesday, but let me know what you think about that in the comment section below, and let's jump right into this one. If you do have any questions, comments, concerns, whether it's Draftkings, FanDuel, Yahoo, Fantasy Draft, any DFS site, or season-long fantasy question, please leave them in the comment section below. I'm happy to give y'all advice when I can. Now, I'm going to be talking about Minnesota for a majority of this video. If you have any Washington-specific questions that I do not answer, please leave them below as well. I just want to come out guilty as charged right now. This is a very Minnesota-heavy night for me. In cash games, I always like to mention this first. There's about two routes I'm considering taking. It's really, really hard to put 40% of your salary into your captain, even if he's worth it, as Dalvin Cook is, because you have to lock in these three players into every line you make tonight in cash games. These three players in cash games, every single one of your lineups, no argument. You need them all. You need them all in there. I don't care if any of them are at captain or which is at captain. I would lean towards Dalvin at captain or Kirk at captain for cash games, just because Diggs is, even though he's the number one target now, it's still just not a cash game play, I don't think, for wide receiver at captain. I did want to mention my favorite salary saver, even though AP, I think, will play tonight. Wendell Smallwood at 1,800 is basically the best way to help yourself get everybody else on the board. But I'm going to leave you with that for cash. My one other approach, I think I'm leaning this way. I've only done this once or twice this year, I think, for cash games, has gone kicker at captain. But this is a night where I'm really okay with it because I can really fit everybody I want in this lineup. I can take the top two targets, and then I would come down and probably go someone like Wendell. But let's get into tournaments. I'm not gonna harp too much on cash games, but I'm telling you, that's a pretty solid core right there. For tournaments tonight, there's two guys I'm looking for at captain. I don't know what's up with the scrolly wheel. Two guys at captain, though, for tournaments tonight. I think Diggs is going to be a little underowned at captain tonight. And then if you were to go Dalvin Kirk, which I think these three guys will not only be needed in every one of your cash lineups, but I think that in the GPP, the main tournament winning lineup, I think all three of these guys are going to be in there. I don't know if any of them are going to be at captain or which of them will be at captain. But either way, I think all three of these guys are going to be in the winning lineup tonight. It's going to be the Washington guy that scores the one touchdown Washington gets all night. It's going to be the Washington player that really determines the winning lineup, I think. Whether it's Dustin Hopkins with 4 field goals or AP with 100+ and 2 touchdowns. But that brings me to my favorite tournament play of the night. Even if we're playing Diggs at captain, one way I really want to differentiate myself tonight is with this questionable Adrian Peterson, who I expect to play. He's confident he'll be able to suit up to, which is great. That just came out this morning. Did not see that. But this is just going to go down narrative street for 2 seconds. We're going to take a hard right turn. Adrian Peterson playing his former team in Minnesota. That's really all I have to say about it. He's a little older, obviously, but he's too good, especially with Chris Thompson out. He's way too good to not even give him any consideration. I'm okay with plugging him in as a flex play and hoping he's the one that scores. And then I think you have to take someone like Smallwood here to save some salary and hope that he actually does get some points, and then you can go like C.J. Ham or something like that. I'm actually looking and considering this. I'll definitely have some exposure to this. AP captain, it really allows you to fit pretty much everything you want. And then I'm still okay with taking Smallwood. I just think that out of everybody you can have on that cheaper side, that's 2K, sub 2K, if it's not Smallwood, it's going to be CJ Ham at 400. It's going to be C.J. Ham at 400. I'm really not looking to have two. There's no good punt plays. There's really not. None of these guys are good punt plays. C.J. Ham and Amir Abdullah probably your best two, hoping that Minnesota just runs away with it and they get a little bit of usage late. Smallwood should see some action. Adrian Peterson's not going to be on the field for every single snap of every single drive. He should see a little bit of action. We saw him get involved at the end of that San Fran game. So I'm okay with playing him and then going like Trey Quinn maybe. It's a little bit of Washington exposure. Doesn't hurt anybody, especially in tournaments. But if you did want to differentiate yourself way, way more than I plan on it, you could take out Kirk Cousins here. Kirk Cousins and Stephon Diggs. Dalvin Cook needs to be in every single lineup, period. I'm okay with trying something different and fading Kirk or Diggs. I don't want to mislead you guys that that's what I'm going to be doing. Like I said, I think the winning lineup's going to have all three of them. But I'll play a couple lineups that don't have Kirk and then hope Dalvin gets 3 touchdowns and Stephon Diggs gets none, but maybe Diggs goes for 100+ or something like that. I'm okay with that, and then maybe go Scary Terry and kind of just work your way from there. I do want to also mention Olabisi Johnson going to be the number 2 target. I mean, yeah, he got a touchdown, but he also got 8 targets last week against Detroit, and they have a really nasty secondary in Detroit. I think Olabisi Johnson could definitely pay off that $6,200 price tag. I plan on having quite a bit of Olabisi in my lineups tonight. So I'm going to leave y'all with that for DraftKings. Jumping over to FanDuel, though, for cash on FanDuel, again, these 3 guys need to be in your cash lineup, and then maybe go like Olabisi Johnson, and then that'll leave us enough for like Wendell Smallwood. I think you could go AP Wendell Smallwood if you think maybe that's a GPP play. AP's going to get the volume, but it's really hard to take a road dog running back, especially like a super dog running back on the road. But I mean, Adrian Peterson, we've seen him do some pretty magical stuff, so I'm okay with playing him over here on FanDuel for sure. I'm honestly a little bit more comfortable with it than probably anybody is. I'm a little worried I might be a little too high on him tonight, but I just think it's a really good opportunity to get some exposure to AP in tournaments, and it's Adrian Peterson at the end of the day playing his old team, so it's something that I think is pretty cool. One other thing that I do want to mention over here on FanDuel that is pretty different is Irv Smith. I think at 7,500 is actually a little bit of a better value than he is on DK. If you come over here on DK, he's actually priced up quite a bit at 4,800. I don't see him being owned very much on either site, but he did fill in a pretty vital role in that game last week. I think he had 5 targets and 6 targets and 5 catches, I think. Let's see. 6 targets, 5 catches, 60 yards. But the thing was, if you watch the game, it really looked like Kirk was looking for him, so I'm okay with getting some exposure to him over here on FanDuel. He's kind of the same price range, I guess, value-wise, but I prefer him on FanDuel. I think that 7,500 is a little bit easier to fit. It makes more sense in the lineup to kind of go cheap with him. I wouldn't go MVP with him, though, that's for sure. MVP over here, I'm probably going to be looking Diggs for GPPs. I still want all these guys. And then if we went Irv Smith, that'll leave us enough for like Alexander Madison, Trey Quinn, Paul Richardson. These guys, Trey Quinn, Paul Richardson, they just drive me insane because one of them's going to score a touchdown or do something crazy yard-wise or have 10 catches. And if you don't have them, that's what breaks the slate. So you're going to want some exposure to both of them, I think, on both sites. But just don't be overboard with it because they could both bust, or one of them could go 100+. Paul Richardson could have 2 touchdowns and 20 yards. It's annoying how it goes like that, but I would be remiss if I didn't at least say that because it could happen. But again, these 3 guys, man, you got to have these guys in your lineup. I don't care which one's at captain over here on FanDuel. Like I said, you're going to want Dalvin at captain for your cash games, or Kirk if you think Kirk's a safer play. I personally prefer Dalvin. But you're going to want these 3 guys in every single lineup pretty much tonight. I know it's pretty self-explanatory. Most of y'all probably knew that before you even clicked on the video. But then where I'm really looking to separate myself tonight for tournaments has got to be AP. I think the narrative street for Adrian Peterson at such low ownership and captain is just going to be a beautiful thing to capitalize on, mostly on DraftKings. FanDuel, I think it's valuable enough just playing him in your flex. And honestly, the winning lineup tonight, I mean, Laquan Treadwell, he should see some snaps tonight. Treadwell and Wendell Smallwood, if you wanted to fill in your lineup with Treadwell or Smallwood down here at the very bottom, that's actually going to be pretty contrarian. Obviously, everybody's going to have these three. Dalvin's going to be very popular, MVP. But going AP and then Smallwood or AP and then Treadwell below, that's going to be a pretty cool way to kind of go off the trail tracks, the train tracks a little bit. Take it off the rails, and I hope that helps you out, because that's kind of what I'm looking to do tonight. So if you do have any questions for me, feel free to leave them below. I'm happy to get back to y'all, and the support's been amazing lately. So I look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow with my cash locks for Sunday. And until then, good luck tonight.